was very impressive. The same in the regions, you know, within a year, in 2 regions, thousands and thousands of people went on the streets. They went violent, and I am personally always advocating for non-violent democratic movement, but you should understand that what happened in the last 20 years, people lost any means of legal communication with the government. Since 2010, there is not even one opposition member in the parliament in Azerbaijan. So Aliyev's son Aliyev's style is very different from father Aliyev's style. I always say that his father was wiser. He could play better. He could hide better. He could use democracy, you know, in a better way to hide his dictatorship, the essence of what they have created in Azerbaijan. And what changed and what makes this year really a year where we have hope for change in Azerbaijan, in spite of oil and gas and the realpolitik that we have been talking these days much about, and also yesterday at the ceremony. What has changed is, again, in the policy of Aliyev closing everything, closing all political space in Azerbaijan, didn't produce the result he wanted to produce. It actually gave different results. People didn't get more silent, they get more outspoken, they go more on the streets. The groups which have never protested started to protest. Azerbaijan opposition has been accused for 20 years now for being too old-fashioned, failing to unite, not having managers who will be able to run the country if they ever come to power. That was the narrative and the discourse the government was selling to the West. And it was very easy excuse for oil and gas and business circles in Washington and London to accept and to give absolutely full support to Aliyev regime during all these years. So my messages in this opening statement is that this has changed and it is changing. And you have to see that there is new media revolution going on in Azerbaijan. Out of 9 million people, more than 1 million people are on Facebook. The internet penetration, officially they say it's more than 65%. Some research shows that daily access is 7%, but now the latest figure that it became 11. So daily access rose almost 2 times in Azerbaijan within a year. And daily access, we are talking, you know, hundreds of thousands of people are involved in this free public sphere where this government and their narrative and discourse and propaganda is challenged. Just to give you one example, the Azаттыk newspaper, the first ever newspaper in independent Azerbaijan, by the end of 80s, at the beginning of 90s, during those times, reached absolute maximum number circulation, 200,000 copies. That was maximum. In 90s and 2000s, they came down to 10,000. But what happened in January, on internet, on virtual space, within a day and 2, a news, one hot news, got more than 200,000 clicks. So now you can say that that opposition newspaper is back. Its popularity is back, but online. What changed that the 2 main opposition parties, Musavat and Popular Front, controlled mind and hearts of protest electorate for last 20 years, and that changed too. It's not government losing control, but also leading opposition parties are losing control, but it's good for developing democratic movement and for these parties as well, because if they have not been able to unite for so long, now they are so much challenged in a free space where, you know, you can say there is a free competition, and they feel now the power which is forcing them to unite. So that's what's happening in Azerbaijan, and Another thing, we have Azerbaijan opposition has now a channel on satellite. It's called Media TV in Turkey, and 2 hours per week they are basically taking everything what is in internet and putting it online. On satellite. And it's extremely popular in the regions. It's quite boring. It doesn't have very good content. I mean, very, I would say, entertaining because they operate with almost no money. That's the reason. But that's also gonna change. And even with this, what they have now, it's extremely popular in the regions. Hundreds, thousands of people are watching it in the regions. Because people may not have internet access. Not all of them may use it in the regions, especially. But everyone has satellite. And those who don't, they go to their neighbors or relatives to watch this thing.
By the way, we are also on the same channel, and I take the credit for the.
No, I don't have time to praise the Radio Liberty. Obviously, if I'm here, and Radio Liberty, when I was coming in the corridor after giving interview to Russian service, I said like how popular is Radio Free Europe in Russia, because in Azerbaijan it's extremely popular. And it happened, I think, started to happen 5 years ago, since Khadija Ismailova started to work in Baku. And you have a very good team, very professional. Today is 60th anniversary, congratulations, great job. But I'm trying to give the bigger picture of the situation. And I'm finishing, I'm sorry to take so much time. And the main change, what's happening in Azerbaijan right now, the old opposition and new opposition is uniting. Well, first news is that old opposition is uniting. That never happened ever before. New opposition joining the forces. And you have to realize that the most famous Azerbaijani scientists and writers who defected from this regime a couple of years ago are joining this democratic front as well, like Rustam Ibrahimbeyov from Intelligentsia Forum, or Rafik Aliyev, whom Lütfizade sees as one of potential candidates for Nobel Prize this year, by the way. Lütfizade is Azerbaijani who lives in US, he's US citizen, and he's the founder of Fuzzy Logic. I mean, this sort of people and new generation of people who are good managers, who have run companies, who have been in professional research business for very long, they are all joining their efforts. So this is going to emerge within a month or two in Azerbaijan, and this is absolutely new narrative, which is very disturbing for people in Washington and in London who had very easy excuse supporting Aliyev for so long. It's very disturbing for Aliyev, because if before he was selling himself and his team as the guarantor of stability, anyone who understands Azerbaijani politics now realizes that he turned being into guarantor of upcoming chaos in Azerbaijan. So Azerbaijan is different from Egypt and Syria and Libya. It is more organized in a way, and there are more free spaces. Like, we don't have a law like in Egypt when you can disappear, and 6 months is absolutely legally the security can keep you. It's different, and we are using this small space of freedom to make this democratic change this year in a non-violent, in democratic way, and in responsible way. And Canan was telling today, that mission of Radio Free Europe is, to contribute to the development of free and democratic Azerbaijan. And I just added that, well, it's not just really Free Europe. Everyone who fights for freedom and democracy in Azerbaijan now fights also for not just freedom and democracy, but also good governance. We want our society and state not just to be free and democratic, but also to have a well-run state.